Hello everyone, welcome to Lighthouse Stamping with Lorraine. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Vancouver, Washington. Thank you for joining me today. Before we get started, the housekeeping notes, all the product I'm using and all the dimensions will be listed below. There's a link to my online store if you wish to purchase any of these products. There is a link to our Facebook group. We'd love to have you join that. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe on YouTube and help me grow in YouTube world. Also, I want to remind you, in the month of June 2024, there is a sale going on die bundles. So basically, die bundles, I'll just go to back here. This is a die bundle as well we're going to look at. But like the fins and the hugs, instead of getting 10% off, you're going to get 20% off this month. So it's a great time to buy these. Also, the mini and the large Stampin' Cut and Emboss machines are 10% off as well, which they rarely ever go on sale. So if you're interested in getting some new dies, new stamp sets, and getting a machine, this is a good time to do that. Today, we're going to be playing with Mediterranean Blooms. It's found on page 34 and 35 of the annual catalog. And so I'm going to show you all the components of it, and then I will show you what we're making. Or a version of what we're making, because I changed it. You know me, I always like to. Here is the beautiful stamp set. Now, we're not using a lot of stamps out of this. I wanted birthday cards. I'm always in need of a lot of birthday cards. But there's some great verses in this. Hello, all the love. You are the best friend or best kind of person. I can't even read today. Just checking in. And then there's some standalone flowers. These here all have die. These here and these have dies. And that's these guys here, this one and here. But there's a lot of standalone dies in this set. Now I'll open this up, and then there's these. These are just wonderful, and we're going to be using them. So there's an outside piece, an inside piece, and then a further inside piece with more leafage. We're not going to use that one. I'm also going to be using all of these independent leaves. Just grab all those right now. And I'm going to be grabbing, there's 2 large stars or flowers and 2 smaller ones. I'm going to grab the 1 large and 2 smaller. And then there's some really tiny little ones that could be flowers or stars. Okay, so that's the die set and stamps. Also in this set is some beautiful paper. Now, some of these cut out with the dies. This one here cuts out with this one. And if I get this off here, this one cuts here. So you have lots of them. There's 2 sheets of this, so you could cut these up and use them as accents on your card. Or you can stamp them and color them. And lots of different ways to use this. So this is the sheet that you can die cut. And then on the other side is a blue, like Mediterranean tile, which is absolutely gorgeous. This one's all lemons. Unfortunately, there is no dies to cut out the lemons. So if you want the lemons, you're going to have to fussy cut them. But they are beautiful. And this is a different pattern. And we've got lots of oranges on this one. And a very tidy pattern. And we got lemons. Another small pattern. Now we have just greenery and flowers, which I just think is an absolute gorgeous, with a very large pattern. And this is a mixture of oranges and lemons. And another really big pattern. So that's the paper. And the last thing with this bundle, if you want to get the whole suite, is these are the Opal Round Assortment. And they're in like it's a clear, it's sort of like a cross between Daffodil and Lemon Lolly and a navy. There's 2 different sizes. And that is the bling. So you're all wondering what we're making. If I can find the card, I'll show you. First is the envelope, and I know this is very hard. I stamped this in Daffodil Delight, so it's very light. We're going to change it a little bit. And right before I get started and I do anything, I'm going to put my dies back in my case and get them out of the road, the ones I'm not using. Okay, so there's the envelope. And this is the card. And I did die cut one of the large pieces out of that paper. And this is all with those different large dies, which we're going to show you how to make those. And then it opens up here. This is my happy birthday, and here's a place to sign. You could also put a place to sign on the back. I just needed a small one. And this is an easel card, which I think is very pretty. So it opens up like that. Now, we're making the same style. We're going to use different colors. I'm going to change it up. So, go through all the pieces. Of course, we have an envelope. I have a piece of daffodil that is 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. I have another piece of daffodil, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. That is a 1/4 sheet. I have a 1/4 sheet of garden green. I have a piece of the lemon paper, so with a small pad print on there. And this one is 4 by 5 1/2. Just making sure I've counted for all my pieces here. I have a piece of card. This is scrap white, sorry, it's scrap white. This is a piece of basic white that is 3 1/8 by 2 for the inside. Now this one, I've die cut the single for this card. It's gonna look a little different. I'm gonna put him in a safe spot. And then I have some scrap of garden green and some scrap of lemon lolly. Like I said, this card's going to look different than the first one, but you can use any colors you want with this. So before we get started, we're going to do some stamping. There's not a lot of stamping on this card. It's a lot of die cutting. But the first thing we are going to stamp is our happy birthday. Grab me a mat. I think I need to change the, I think it's time to change that. I do. And we are going to, I'm going to go ahead and put it this way. This is the happy birthday, and this is from Unbounded Love. Yeah, Unbounded, I guess Unbounded Love. Yeah, Unbounded Love. It's this set here. And we're going to use a die, this die right here, from that set to cut that out. Okay, so that's the garden green we need. Now, instead of using Daffodil Delight on my envelope this time, I grabbed some Calypso Coral. I know it's not exactly the match, but I wanted the flowers to look a little better. And I've just put both of the flowers on here. And I'll just do a little flip here. And just put a couple little flowers on the envelope. I just wanted something that was going to show up a little better than the daffodil did. Okay. So now it is time to do some die cutting. We're going to do a lot of die cutting. So I'm going to get out Auto here, aka the Cut and Emboss machine. I'm going to move my stamps over here so I don't get ink on my hands since I didn't clean them. And if you hear little banging or clicking noises around here, both kittens are in the room with me. I think this is the norm. One's in the window, one's on the floor. It doesn't matter. They want to be whatever room I'm in. So first we're going to take the piece that is 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. I'm going to give it a good burnish. And then I'm going to take the largest die here. This is the single die. And I'm going to grab some plates. We need plate 1, plate 2, a plate 3, and another plate 3 for a second. Now, this is going to be a shaped easel card. So you've seen me do these before, but just in case, what we want to do is I'm going to flip this over. And you can see where the cutting edge is right there on that. I want it right at the edge of the paper, just like that. So when you flip it over, you can tell where it is. So we can cut that. And I'm going to grab my boat plates are a little on the bowed side. I do have some new ones coming. They haven't arrived yet. And I don't want this to move, because if it moves when it's going through the cutting machine, it could cut off the top of my card, which we don't want. And I'm just going to set that off to the side like this. And this one, just so it stays in place. And then I'm going to grab the other plate 3 and run this through. This is why I put it on the edge. It's even being supposed to be low tack tape, it's not that low tack. It does stick to cardstock, unfortunately. So we're not going to get rid of that one because we're not done with it yet. But here is the base of our card. Well, it's got some stitching on it, so you have to sort of pop it apart because the stitching here cuts into the second one here and hooks. Just have to bend a little bit. So that's the base of our card. Okay. Now we need to cut some more pieces. The other piece of Daffodil Delight we need to cut out with this. We just need to make sure it's right in the middle of our paper. Smoky, knock it off. There's that one. Now, the garden green piece is going to be our leafage. So, put this back over here. This time we're going to take this single one, and we're going to take this piece, and we're going to set it inside. You do want to take and, you know, make sure everybody's sort of lined up a little bit. I'm going more to the outside with my tape just to hold it in place. Oh, we slid a little bit. Just a second here. It's important that when you're lining this up that you don't let it slide, because you are making a little border in here. Hang on here. I'm going to put a little more security in here. Okay. Now this one has got a lot of detail on it. And it cuts out really good, but I'm going for added benefit. I'm going backwards one more time. So we got that piece is gone. We're going to lift this off, just like this. And then when you're done, make sure you clean all your little holes on stuff. I'll clean them once. I'm not going to do it right now, but I will clean them off before I put it away. You've all seen me clean before. And then gently pop out this inner piece here. And we can still use that. So we'll save that. And then we'll pop the rest of this out because it does have that stitching on it, so you have to be gentle and let it pull it out. And I'm just getting this stuff off of here before I grab a piece of paper. And I just grabbed a plain piece of paper so I can sit here and poke all of these extra little pieces out. You can use your little scrubby on, you know, that goes over the thing. And I didn't bring my, well, I did bring the scrubby, but I didn't bring, you can use this too, and your mat. But I didn't bring the mat with me, unfortunately. It's in the other room. But there's not much to get out of here, just a few extra little pieces. Most of it pops right out. And that looks good. And I can just take this and dump it over here. Do I want to know, Smokey, get off the top shelf. You're gonna fall. I have a lot of high shelving in here, and she's climbing up into everything. Okay, die cutting. Back to die cutting. We have our happy birthday here, and I know I don't need this full sheet, so I'm gonna rip it. And I'm gonna grab my little die that I had from the Love. You're gonna see me use this one a lot, this set. I love this set. I love the verses, I love the dies. And then, oh, we have one more large one to cut out, but we're gonna do this first. Okay, and I need a strip of this. Actually, I need the smaller strip. We'll use the smaller. This is for our little flowers we're gonna die cut. And then we're gonna do a bunch of leaves. So I'll see how many I can get out of this piece. Don't know if I can get them all out of here or not. I might. You just want to make sure your leaves do not go over, the dies don't go over each other. That should be good. Oh, you want to leave now. Just make sure they don't overlap or you'll break your machine or your dies, possibly. So we can throw all that through. Uh-oh, I'm backing up. I'm back up, and I'm going to show you why I'm backing up. Do you see what happened right here? That die just jumped and got over the other die as I started to go through. So I'm going to pull those two dies out. I haven't stopped because, you know, hang on. Something a little flatter. I don't want to have to stop the whole thing, but I also don't want to have to start all over. So I pulled those two out. If they jump on you, you see them jump, don't just stop. Get them out of there. It's not worth it. Yes, I hear you, sweetheart. And I will let you out in just a moment. Here, excuse me. Come on. Come on, Smokey. Come on. Let's go. You want to go. 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 Out. You're not coming back. She is my whiny baby. Unlike her sister, who is perfectly content to just sit here and listen to me. So here's one of our leaves. They move too, so try not to crowd them too much. I was trying to crowd and save paper, but don't do that. There's saving paper and then there's making a mess. Not that making messes isn't good. That one I've already done. Here's our happy birthday. And here's our stars. I just thought I'd try to get them all in there one pass, but you know, showed you what not to do. There's our stars. We'll set those over there. I'll grab just another piece of green to get the other two leaves that I do need. And I think we're just about done die cutting everything. I'm just rolling back because it's easier than lifting it up. Okay. Sometimes you throw them down, this one did not pop out, but that's okay. And there is one more large piece that I overlooked. That's our DSP. We need to also cut this one out with this one here. And I've made this 4 inches, so you don't have much of side space on this. But I wanted to get as many things out of that 12 by 12 sheet of paper as possible. And you can, because the die is just a little smaller. Okay, and I think that's all the die cutting. I hope. Get rid of all my plates. Okay. I told you this was going to look a lot different than the other one. Okay. So, we need to attach this to this paper here, okay? And I found the easiest way. I'm gonna grab my silicone mat. And you could, if you wanted to use the sticky paper and put it on here and run it and make a sticker out of it. I didn't really think it was that necessary because it actually glues on really easy and you have a lot of larger areas. Sorry, get the glue boogie out of there. And just go around here and just put a little bit of glue around the edge. And I'm not putting a lot. Just a little bit here and there. Especially on the corners, a little on the side. And then I'm just going in here and tapping just a little glue. I'm not putting much. It doesn't take a ton of glue to attach these. Just sort of spreading it around. I'm going to start at the bottom or the top. I may turn it, who knows. Line it up, and definitely this is easier than the sticker paper too, because once you stick it down, you are stuck, literally. With the glue, you have a minute to move stuff around and get it in the right position. So that needs to sit and dry for just a second. So we'll set it off here. Excuse me, I need a... Yeah, it's still spring. My allergies are in full force, so excuse me for the nose blowing. I'm terribly sorry. Okay, so this is our base of our card. And the first thing we're going to do is take the front and we're going to fold it down gently to the score line, lining up everybody. It's not going to line up perfect. You see it's off just a slight, but that's fine. Just right at the score line. Put it down and then grab your bone folder and make a really good burnish in there. Just like that. Okay. That's going to be the base of our... And I've got something on here. I'm not going to worry about it because we're going to put this here in a minute. First thing we're going to do is we're going to pick this back up again. And we're going to put this on this piece. And you can put this on first, then put the other piece on. It doesn't matter. But like I said, you want to get it all lined up. Just like that. Don't you just love those lemons with the green? I think it's pretty. Like I said, I wanted to make it look different than the first card. Okay, so now we're going to put this in here. And what we want to do is we want to adhere this to this piece here and line it up. Okay? You've all seen me make easel cards before if you've followed me for any time. I love making easel cards. I love to make different shaped easel cards. And this one, you know, we can look at this and you can see which way your lemons look the best and your leaves. And this paper is semi-directional, so I'm going to go this direction because it looks more like more of the leaves are in the right place, to me. I'm just going to close this down. I'm just going to take this, line up the bottom and the sides. press that down for just a second. So that's that part, okay? Next, on the inside, I wanted someplace to write, and I want to keep it pretty easy. So I cut a piece here to go up in this corner, but then you have to cut off the corners. Now you can do this with scissors or a circle punch, whatever you want. But I know most of you probably have a corner rounder in your stash, be it Stampin' Up or some other brand. But Stampin' Up does not have one currently. And I just used a corner rounder to round those corners off so that my little signature panel has to fit where that bend is. My little signature panel goes right to the bend, but fits just inside those circles. Like I said, if you wanted a bigger signature panel, you could put it on the back. Or you could put another one down here as well. And center it right there. Make sure not to go over the fold line. So you could put another panel here and have two. They'd be the exact same size. So that's where we got so far. The next we need to do is this. Is our stopper. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to take the bottom of my stopper and I'm going to flip it. And hang on, you guys, every time you change tape on these, they get glue gathered up right in the piece, and you just need to pull it off. And make sure I've got that on the bottom. It's the bottom of the happy birthday, and I'm just going to put some seal across there. And then what I want to do is I want to look for, I don't want to sit it down, but I want mine up quite a ways because I want it to sit up really tall. But what I want to do is take my greenery and I'm just randomly placing this greenery around here. Like this. And what I want to make sure is when I put this in, I am going to stay inside the framework of my card. It looks like I will. Now we need some dimensionals. Now I've said I like to, the base of my card where the place is going to here on this end, where the bar is going to go up, I like to take and use a flat piece of my dimensionals. I'm just eyeballing here approximately how much. A little clip. I don't have any sides at the moment. I've used them all. Always use your sides, but this, and put the flat, sorry, almost put it on the other side. Put the flat piece going this way. It gives just a little bit more security to the stand when you have it leaning up against. And then I'm just gonna put a couple more dimensionals. I'm actually gonna put 4 to make sure my leaves stay where they're supposed to be. So that's that part. Before I put this on, I'm going to put the front piece on. And that is this. And I have to decide where I want it. And I want it sort of at an angle. I did not put a bigger one on here. I'll pull the other one back out in a few minutes because I wanted some of the yellow to shine through. I'm going to use dimensionals on this as well. And like I said, you could stamp this and cut it out and color it, you know, whatever you wanted. But the paper was so pretty, I just couldn't resist. I'll put a few of these on. And I think I'm going to put it at an angle coming this way. You can do any way you want. So now we've got that part, and we've got this piece. We're going to put this in. So peeling more dimensionals. These are pretty flimsy here, I should tell you. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with those in just a second after I've got it on the card. Get this out of my way real fast. It doesn't slide on. Oh, that's the other thing. Demonstrators can pre-order this in the new, with the new online stuff that's coming in July. Stampin' Traders can get this glass mat now, but everybody else will be able to get it on July 3rd when the new online stuff goes live. I don't have any of the new stuff yet. I hopefully will before the end of the month. So I want to make sure that I've got this in, and I want to do it as straight as possible to make sure all my greenery is inside the card area. If you go off a little bit, you still have a little room in your envelope. And that's going to be like that. Now, if you don't like this lifting around, once you get it down, just take a little dab of glue, another dab of glue. This one's sort of tucked in here pretty good. I'm not worried about him. But this one, I'll put a dab of glue. Just put a couple dabs of glue after you've got it glued, hooked to the inside base, and it will be just fine. Or you can leave it free if you'd like. Okay, now we have some flowers. Flowers. So I've got a large one and 2 small ones. So what I'm going to grab is some glue dots. And when you look at these, you can see which way they go. I'm going to put a small one on here. And this one, I'm actually going to grab a mini. I'm not going to use a glue dot. I'm going to use a mini dimensional on this one. Put a mini dimensional on that one. Because I'm going to put him off. So he's sort of like that. And this one, I'm going to put a glue dot. I'll put him on the label. But make sure you don't put it on the flat side. Not here. You gotta put it off to the side. Okay, now we need some bling. We could use clear. Or blue. I'm not sure. Nope, gonna go with the yellow. Still like the yellow for this. And then the small ones. And the small flowers. And that is my card for today. So here is the yellow and green version with a place to sign. Or like I said, you can put it on the back. You can get another white piece, the exact same size if you want. So that's that one. Or here's the blue one I made with more oranges. I'll try to hold them up a little bit here so you can see them better. So we got 2 different versions of the same card. So thank you for joining me today, and I will see you next time. Like I said, if you have any questions, send me an email. And if you want to purchase any of these products, please go to my online store to do so. And remember, the sale is on till June 30th of 2024. So you get 20% off die bundles, die Stampin' bundle sets, not suites, sorry, only the Stampin' dies, and 10% off all the cut and emboss machines. So if you have any questions, please let me know, and have a wonderful day.